Oh my god.
Yeah, Matt, check.
I'm checking. But probably Josh is like faster. Probably has the page open.
Yeah, we're live.
See?
All right. Welcome everybody to Batyard's Finest, where we would discuss everything Batman, Superman, and everything in pop culture. My name's Jerry, your guardian from Ola, and I'm here rocking out with these two gentlemen.
Hi,
What's up?
Let's start with this
I'm
guy.
Josh. Yeah, you go, Matt.
Which...
Yeah, you
I
go,
don't know
man.
which
fingers.
one. Yeah.
What's up,
I
guys?
forget
I'm
how
Matt
to
from
point.
Gotham. It's okay.
Wait, did you finish, Matt? Are you done? Hi, I'm Josh from Metropolis. How's everyone doing?
You all are in for a star-studded night tonight.
It is a beautiful night. It's not raining.
It is. Oh, it's
Thank
raining
God.
here.
Is it raining where you are, Matt?
Yeah, it's been like on and off.
I think it's gonna come up my way soon.
Yeah,
Jerry,
it was
just
sunshine
worry
today.
For some reason, all right, Jerry. This is your show, Jerry. So you can do whatever the hell you want.
So as usual, we like to start off with our BS, Batman, Superman segment, or just anything noteworthy.
Okay, BS.
Matt, do you have
Okay,
any?
so I have something. It's not BS, but like going back to last podcast with Steven. We talked about the Superman book.
Right.
I found it and I'm finding it on Audible. So
Can we
I've been
discuss
listening
that when
to
we
here
talk
and
about
there.
the book?
What?
Wait, go ahead.
No, I ended up finding the book and it actually is pretty good and actually pretty interesting. The setting is a lot different than a lot different, and the characters are a lot changed up to like actually fit up with the time.
Yeah. So should we wait
Nice.
for that though? Like for the discussion for the book?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that because we weren't sure where to find it when we were talking about it, but I did find it on Audible, and it's like he said,
It's on Audible.
It's on Audible.
What the hell?
It's called
Wow.
It's Superman.
And it's that book.
Book.
Right. Oh, that's cool. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's
That's what you're
pretty
talking
freaking interesting.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
finally caught up, guys.
No, I thought you were talking about like Smash. I thought you were talking about the comic book that we're going to discuss. I'm like, that's on.
No.
Audible.
I think it actually is because I think I found it while I was looking around on Audible.
Yeah, I think it is on
I'll-
Audible because it got recommended to me.
The comic book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting. I feel like you don't need that because you have the radio show. Like that's basically the you don't. You don't.
It's
need
Audible.
it at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, Audible just doesn't care really. They just put
Audible
up whatever
give
they
us
can put
money.
up.
Yeah. Audible, give us money. Well, speaking of our sponsors, we are sponsored today by Kellogg's Pep. PEP Pep. Kellogg's Pep, the sunshine cereal, brings you the adventures of Batyard's finest. Hello, gang. This is your pal, Josh Lawton. Say, have you heard about the 18-karat breakfast dish that stars with the sunny cheerfulness? Well, it's Kellogg's Pep, the sunshine cereal. Yes, sir. Pep is a jewel of a treat. So sunny and golden, you'll hardly wait to stop eating. So remember, eat all your Pep. Don't waste it. Okay, so don't waste your Pep, guys, because they send it overseas to to kids overseas. So don't waste your Pep. Okay.
Jerry, actually, I looked up the Superman Smashes the Klan. I thought it was on there too because it showed me it once. but it's Superman versus the Klan.
Oh, it's the
It's
book. That makes
National Geographic's recording books.
Yeah, I think it's about the history of the radio show and
Yeah, it's about the
What?
history. Yeah,
what went into it and how they kind of infiltrated the information that they got. That's cool. Okay, that makes
That's
a lot
nice.
more sense. That makes
This
a lot more
is-
sense than doing a comic book version of Audible that already has a radio show. Why do you need that?
Yeah. But yeah, it's that the book that Steve was talking about in the last podcast. Let's just say this: it does not have any made up cities. Everything's just in
Metropolis?
ours. No Metropolis.
There's no
They're in
Smallville.
New York. There is
There's no
Smallville.
Smallville.
There's Smallville, but not Metropolis.
That's weird.
I guess Metropolis is basically New
Because
York.
Because the whole
Yeah.
time I'm like paying attention, they'd never state Metropolis. I always just keep hearing New York, New York. And Lois
Maybe
Lane's like, oh, we're in New
eventually-
York.
No, maybe eventually they're going to Metropolis. I don't know.
I don't.
I think I read the
I have no
beginning.
idea.
I think I remember reading the beginning of that book like way back in high school. I think I read the beginning. The only thing I remember is like Clark Kent kind of works at Hollywood. Is that part of it? He works.
I don't recall that.
Or
He
like,
was like how Steve was saying, he used to be a strongman.
is there a part where he's like in high school and then they say if people like he'll give people the time of day if they say hello to him, but if they don't say hello to him, he won't say anything. That's the only part. That's all I remember. Is
I
that
don't
in there?
recall that. I don't know. I'm not like I think I'm 50% away. I may not have ran into that one.
How far are you?
Like I said, probably 50% away.
Oh, so you're halfway through the
Cool.
book.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's a lot farther than I don't even know if I'm talking about the same book. I just remember there was a Superman book.
Yeah.
Place.
And the Lex Luthor character is pretty weird.
Is he a
Because
nerd?
he has no.
Nurse?
It's really weird because like he's trying to become mayor, but he's like has so many different personas. Though he has like 4 different names, and he finally landed on Lex Luthor.
Okay, I definitely have to check this out since it's on Audible. I'll definitely check
And
it out.
And he lost his hair like how he was in in Smallville, how he started losing his hair because of the kryptonite.
Mhm.
He loses his hair with like in this one, but I don't recall him touching any kryptonite in this. So he just starts slowly losing his hair.
I know there's some.
It's the
renditions
stress of the
Superman-
personas.
Yeah, probably. I know there's some where
No,
it's like
he's-
long-term effects, like he has kryptonite in his possession, and then like the long-term effects that he slowly loses it. I don't know. Maybe it's that. I'll definitely have to check that out. Now I'm pretty interested that it's on.
Yeah,
Audible.
send us
It's
the link for that.
Yeah, I definitely.
Yeah,
wanna
I'll
check
send
it
you the
out.
link. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's cool that you checked that out.
Yeah, I was like, it did really interest me, so I had to go find it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm like 11. I have 11 hours and 29 minutes left, so I'm almost. It was a 16. It's a 16-hour read, so I'm about almost.
You listen to this
halfway.
at work?
What?
Do you listen to this at work?
Yeah.
That's the best time.
That's where I. Yeah, that's usually when I listen to.
Yeah, when
podcast.
downtime comes, when I'm busy, I'm like in like somewhat downtime, when no one's really trying to bother me. I try to listen to it.
That's cool. I don't really have any BS. I feel like I should, but I don't.
Oh,
What is it? Just
No.
recently, then Warner Brothers dropped its Mortal Kombat animated series that they did. That was like shortly
Yeah.
released, but they re-released it.
Is it good?
I haven't seen it yet, but it looks pretty awesome.
Mm.
And a lot of people have like these weird theories with Shaggy. and supposedly this confirms the weird like theories with Shaggy.
like Scooby Doo Shaggy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Scooby Doo Shaggy. Yep.
So it's a theory that Shaggy is the most powerful person in animated history. And it was a running joke on the internet for like 2 years.
Yep. And finally, they do it.
So I see. I understand. Like I know this is a meme, but I don't understand the meme. Like, why is this a thing? Where did this come
It's the
from?
internet.
I don't know where it came from, man.
Like,
I just
why is
know it
Shaggy
just
the
started showing
strongest
up.
character? Like, why don't they say Scooby Doo because he's a talking dog? Why would you?
It's
Why is
just.
Shaggy?
It
I
feels
mean,
like Shaggy's hiding more things.
Shaggy can run up to par with a Great Dane, and they run like 35 miles an hour.
Wait, great. Oh yeah, Great Danes. Yeah. So why wouldn't it be a Great Dane? It's like I mean, it has the stride of a horse, basically.
Yeah, but like it's a human being that's not supposed to do that. So they're saying
Yeah.
that that's just Shaggy at is. They claim that him running as that fast isn't his true potential speed because his character's design. So if you actually if you make him more of a serious person, they feel like you would unlock more like speedster speed out of him instead of being a dopey idiot.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he is.
I know, but like this is the whole like theories that
That's
are
the
running around.
internet. The
And then they
internet
add
is a
like some
mysterious place.
his durability from getting like hit, falling into something, blah blah. That adds in. At some point, I think he like lifts something that's slightly heavier than the average person can lift. So people assume that he's just like stronger. But if you do the thing like take his character, make him more serious than dopey, we would see more better results out of him.
Okay.
So it's like really weird. It's really weird.
It's I can only thing I can say is it's the internet.
Yep.
Yeah. So, oh wait, I have one BS. Speaking of Kellogg's Pep, there is a not in this specific radio show, but in another rendition of a Superman radio podcast, not podcast, radio show. They have a commercial for Kellogg's Pep where they're basically selling you the cereal and they're saying like, "Oh, you could collect all these buttons. They have Superman. They have blah blah blah." Blah. And the commercial worked on me that I was like, 70 years later, I was like, "Oh, I need that button." So I looked online and I found it. I found the button. So I have this Pep
Is that the one your
Kellogg.
hat?
Yes, it's the one on my hat. I have it right here. If you could see the
I
button.
can see it.
I'll take it off. I can take it off. Here. It's not in focus. There it is.
There you go.
So this
There
is
it
from
is.
the 1940s with Kellogg's Pep, and it has the Pep logo on it. It goes in focus.
Sure as
Be off
shit
of my
it does.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I don't know why it's not in focus. It focused on Superman's face pretty clearly, but I mean, it says
I think
you could see that.
if you hold it good enough, it'll probably get there. But due to he has a face, it probably is focusing on the face. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening. So this is from like 1947 or something like that. So I got a little piece of history on my baseball cap. So they even state that in the commercial. You could put it on your baseball cap. I'm like, yes, I will, Mister. I will, Dan McCullough. I will, even though I'm not 10 years old. I will do.
Oh
my god.
The only thing of BS that I have is I recently went to go watch the Shang-Chi movie. Shang-Chi. It's not Shang-Chi. It's Shang-Chi.
Oh, there's rain.
Why am I not in focus?
It was a pretty good movie. I see what people mean when they say it's been one of the better Marvel films, but as much as I liked it, there was a few things I didn't like.
Oh, I forgot this even came out.
Wait, what?
I forgot it even
The
came out.
the
That
Oh,
this
Shang-Chi
movie
God.
came
movie,
out.
then the Ten
Yeah.
Rings.
I wasn't superly hyped for this one, so I was just waiting for it to come to Disney Plus.
It's if you watch it in theaters, definitely pay like matinee price. Like you'll be entertained, but it'll hit a stale point where you're like, okay, pick up the pace, do something else. Y'all have been doing the same thing for like the last 40 minutes. And they kept talking about family, and I'm like, where's Don Toretto mentioning family every 35
Oh,
seconds?
God.
But it's, family's
Fast
real
and
big in
Furious.
Asian culture. So I'm like, I guess I get it, but
I thought family was big in
But
Fast and Furious.
I guess they took a page from them.
oh, yoy.
But it was overall for this phase, it's not a whole lot I'm too excited for, but I'm excited that it's setting up people who have kind of just fallen to the back burner because I believe it's gonna connect into the Eternals, who's getting a movie in November.
Mm-hmm.
And what else? I think it might even connect back to somebody else that I've even forgotten about.
Yeah,
Because
I
I
don't
thought
really.
Shang-Chi was a new person, but he's been around since the Bronze Age.
Oh, really? Is that old? I
Yeah.
didn't know that. I don't know. I don't really know what
What's something
Marvel's
new?
plan is anymore. It's not like as cohesive as it was before. It's kind of like it seems like now they're like, oh yeah, you can watch this show. You got this show. Um, and it's just like you could kind of pick and choose what you watch now instead of before where it seemed like one unified universe. Now it's just kind of like sporadic and it just almost feels like a buckshot. It's like, oh yeah, watch
Yeah.
this
I
or
think they waited too
not.
long trying to set up the multiverse because now with the new
Yeah,
Spider-Man movie, it's like
that's all I care about.
Endgame
That movie.
already happened. So and the
Yeah,
multiverse was already technically explained in Doctor Strange. So it's like
yeah,
you
that's
waited a little too late for
yeah. It
me
seems like it
personally.
seems like
And
I agree. I feel like Endgame was the natural progression and ending for the universe. They should have stopped that Endgame. Maybe took like a 5-year hiatus and then bring it back. But since it's such a cash cow, Disney's not going to turn that down. So I think it would have been nice for like
including
a little break.
Mm-hmm.
including they brought back a villain that was pretty much like dead and like killed off in a way for like about like 5 to 8 years. The
Mm-hmm.
Mandarin was just like, oh, we're gonna bring it in like for was it Iron Man 3? Oh, it's a joke. He's not the real Mandarin. Blah 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 blah. And then after I forget what movie later they made a little short video where the actor's actually walking around in prison doing his thing, and the Mandarin actually shows up at prison and threatens him about it,
Oh yeah,
and
isn't that
Yeah.
that's
like the
it.
real
But
Mandarin?
never wait, what?
Yeah,
Yeah, the real Mandarin shows up, and then you never hear about the Mandarin
yeah.
ever again. And
When
that
was
was
that?
like that short video. That was like I think it was like a year or two later. I think they slipped it into Silver War. I think,
Yeah, I vaguely
I
remember
think
that.
so, yeah.
but yeah, like I think they slipped into Silver War's like deleted stuff or behind the scenes stuff. But you never hear about the Mandarin ever again, and then they bring him back for this movie, and I have no idea what his attachment is to the Mandarin because the Mandarin always been like Iron Man's thing.
Yeah, he's in this. The Mandarin's
He's
in
in this. The whole
Yes and
rings.
no.
Is this true, Jerry? Can you confirm this?
It's complicated because it's not Iron Man. It's not the Mandarin like we know from Iron Man as a villain, but more of like a namesake, like how there was King Charles the 14th.
So
It was a name that was given to him during one of the dynasties of China because he was, he had the 10 rings, which we still don't know if they're the 10 Makulan rings or not.
Well,
so
when
it's
I was
like
reading
he's just
behind
got
the
these
scenes,
10 power rings, and they just were like, we're going to call you all these different names. And he decided to stick with the Mandarin because of Iron Man 3.
I don't know anything about the Mandarin.
What is it? I was watching something behind the scenes, and they're talking about, oh yeah, we were adding the Mandarin to this, but we're gonna change up the style of the rings because we wanted to fit more of the culture. And usually in culture, and and whenever they do martial arts, they have these bands. So they said that we're changing the 10 rings to the 10 bands. That's what people on the Marvel set was saying. They're changing it because of the culture.
Those 10 bands would have fucked Thanos up if he was there.
So that's one thing that threw me off. So I was like, I don't know if I really want to see this movie because you're changing so much of it. I get where you're going, but now you're starting to change things that are like important.
I don't really care about Marvel anymore. I mean, like, the only thing I'm looking forward to is the Spider-Man thing. I don't care about the Black Widow movie. I don't care about this. I just don't. I don't really have that hype anymore because, like I said, like I feel like Endgame was the natural ending. It should have just ended there, but it didn't. So like it's just kind of it feels like it's dragging it out longer than it needs to, and it's just I feel that drag. Now I'm feeling it. I don't know about how you guys feel, but I wish they just kind of ended
it. I've got certain characters I'm waiting to see if they get movies for, but that's honestly about it.
Right.
Yeah,
like
that's
some
basically
individual
the same thing.
characters. I would be interested in seeing like Moon Knight or something like that. Some like weird.
There's so much talk of him.
Yeah.
They want to do it, but like supposedly he's really brutal, so they don't know if they want to bring him out.
Yeah, but
they have Deadpool.
Cool. Yeah,
I know, but Deadpool is Fox, so now they have to modify the shit out of him.
They own Fox now, so there you go.
They can do it.
Fox.
Yeah, I know, but like,
wait, let's read some of these comments before we get into it. Okay, so T Pillow just said, if the real Mandalorian fought Iron Man, he wouldn't have made it too far in Infinity War. I think the Mandalorian really would have kicked Iron Man's ass. I don't know.
Mandarin.
No,
asshole.
He might as well have been a Mandalorian.
That would have been cool. They could do that too. They own that shit too. Might as well.
But T-Pillow,
okay, we're going to go Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian,
and Mandalorian shoots that one-shot rifle.
All right, but we all know
that one-shot rifle that incinerates anything. I think it would win.
Wait, which one?
Oh God damn it!
We all know that. Okay, that's fair. Iron Man could be Mandarin and Mandalorian and whatever, but we all know that he can't beat Turbo Man, so it's okay. It's all fair.
Well, speaking about Iron Man fighting anybody, Deathmatch, the YouTube channel that decides to do a superheroes or any kind of like fictional character versus some other fictional character. They freaking put out the Batman versus Iron Man fight, and that was actually a surprise for me.
When did that come out?
I think like
about
3
almost
weeks
half a month ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know they did a lot. I haven't watched their stuff in a while. They make some good stuff, good content.
Mm-hmm. And I was really satisfied with that fight. I was it was unexpected.
Just tell me, I don't care.
Iron Man won.
Oh, boo! That sucks.
I knew that would be
know
outcome already.
Batman would have put an EMP.
Well, the scenario the thing it was a scenario was that Iron Man the thing is Iron Man ambushes Batman. It wasn't like it was superly planned, so Batman didn't have his prepping time.
He could have just used an EMP and then he would have had no suit. And he's like, "Yo, I got fucking martial arts. What do you got?" And he's like,
"Well,
he could have stopped his heart with that EMP too."
Yeah, right. He would have fucking won. He has that in his belt. He has fucking shark repellent. He has an EMP in his belt. That's bullshit. I call bullshit. I call bullshit on this fight. Fuck you. What is it called? Death match? I don't hate you, but no, that's wrong.
It feels like there's so much more stronger words to use, but you don't want to be a jerk to another channel.
No, I mean no, yeah. They make this
so like no.
Yeah, no, that's wrong. They just proved it right there.
They do Batman dirty in that fight, man. They disintegrate him to just.
Did they give Batman the Hellbat suit?
Yeah, what was he wearing?
How did he?
Which one was he wearing?
I gotta know what Iron Man had to beat the Hellbat.
He had I forget the name of the
Hellbat. What is that? I don't even know what that is.
The Hellbat's like a specially made armor that makes him basically as strong as Superman.
Oh, is that what he uses in The Dark Knight Returns?
Wait, what? Oh, the animated.
Where he's all big, bulky Hellbat.
No, it's more of like it's a metal, like it's an Iron Man like suit style. It's supposedly Superman crafted it in the sun or something like that.
So Superman made this out of fucking Kryptonian technology, and you're saying that Iron Man fucking beat this? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. He ends up doing like he ends up dropping basically the Iron Man version of the Hammer of Dawn on him.
How do I do
if you understand Gears of War?
No.
Well, I gotta see which suit they give Iron Man to do that, because that's an impressive feat.
There's a suit that Iron Man has that can handle up to elementals and other shit.
This is the
the suit.
That's the suit.
I got taken down.
Superman made this in the sun for Batman. Is this the actual? So how do you beat that? If it can withstand the heat and pressure of the sun, how?
Don't fucking know. Like I said, a giant satellite.
I can think of is if they gave Iron Man like the suit crafted by the dwarves in Valhalla.
Yeah, then that would have been
and the Dying Star.
But if it's
that would have made it even.
Regular,
is that
just a
which one?
Iron Man suit.
No, it wasn't I don't know what it was. One Jerry, is that the one that has the gears on the side?
I think it is. Style. It's been a while since I've read any of Iron Man.
If it's that one, that he was using that one. But even the what's it called the Hellbat even destroyed that suit.
Yeah, because I was going to say the Hellbat is if he pulls out the Hellbat, you were going to see Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know what the Hellbat is. I never even heard of that.
But like he drops like supposedly Tony Stark made like later in the comic book series he ended up making this suit that's like an imagination. He can control imagination, and the suit can be made out of that, but he can only use it like once. If it gets destroyed, he can never use it again.
What the fuck?
Don't ask me. They show you the information in the video. They show you the information in the fucking video before the fight.
I think you just make it.
So it's real.
Well, yeah,
watch the video.
Use his imagination.
Watch the video.
And he makes a fucking box, and he flies in a spaceship, and he beats Batman. Is that what you're saying?
No.
I think we should
he
move
ends up
on from
winning
this
by.
I
before
don't
I
want to
have an
watch this video.
aneurysm.
Yeah, okay. All right, wait, hold on. We gotta read this Team Pillow comment. Okay, so it started there, and the internet just took and ran with it. I think she's referring.
That's a
Shaggy.
Shaggy thing.
Okay, yeah, the internet's crazy. Just like making Batman lose to Iron Man with some stupid crap. I don't know what's happening.
He did die by the laser beam. He had just in normal Batman mode, but Iron Man injected him with the nanobites and made his suit and self-destructed on him.
The Hellbat? Okay, whatever. I guess I'll watch it.
After he's out of the Hellbat.
I'm more mad. I'm more mad about that than if Goku beats Superman. I don't know why. I'm more.
That's
mad.
an ongoing thing. No one's ever.
Yeah, the
fucking
Goku
say-
Superman thing is like dumb. I don't even care about that. This is Iron Man, Batman. I don't know why I'm more mad about that, but whatever. Okay, so let's read this other team comment. Okay, the stuff people come up with was so funny though. The OG voice actor even got into it. Did the Shaggy? Oh, the OG guy. What's his name?
Oh yeah.
Damn it.
Because he was in 13 Ghosts.
Oh, what?
What is that dude's name?
Matt Willard? Is that what you're talking about?
But
that's not the OG guy. That's the OG guy.
He's the actor from the movies, and I never saw anything from the voice actor.
No voice. Yeah, Matt Willard is pretty cool. It's like Casey Kasem. He's like a very famous radio actor. I'm pretty sure. Excuse me. Yeah, Casey Kasem. Yeah. Okay, I was right. Oh, he died. I didn't know he died.
Damn.
How long
ago? Why did I look that up? 2014. Oh. Well,
okay.
Speaking of people who died, Norm Macdonald just died like last week, and that was upsetting. I don't know if you guys ever watched.
That was pretty sad.
Stuff, but he's
Wasn't that Otis?
Hilarious.
Otis. No,
No,
mind.
no.
Never mind.
That's Ned Betty. That was like.
Yeah, that was a while ago. Yep.
Rest in peace to Otis, to Ned Betty as well. But no, Norm Macdonald. He's very famous for his SNL sketches. Working with Adam Sandler stand up. He has this one bit about a turtle on Conan. I definitely recommend watching that. I'm not gonna do it and butcher it, but definitely watch that if you don't know who Norm Macdonald is. Watch his turtle bit on Conan. It's great. So I just wanted to mention that honorable mention to Norm. Cheers to you. All right, I'm done. I guess we should move on.
That was just a service. See you in 2 weeks for the next one.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. Yeah. So Jerry, you take it away.
So Josh, as you know, I think we all wanted to continue the Superman radio show and Superman Smashes the Klan.
Oh yeah.
God. We're not gonna keep it as long as the last one. We're gonna do a brief summary.
Right, yeah, we're gonna do quick. Okay, so I'll discuss the radio show. So basically, it continues on from.
How far are we going up though?
I don't know. I think it went to like 13 or something. So basically, Tommy is stranded in the waters, in these rapids, basically in the rivers of northern Metropolis. It's not really disclosed on where the location is. Superman locates Tommy. He escapes from Matt Riggs, who is the Grand Scorpion, who is the uncle of Chuck Riggs, who was on the baseball team, and then he got kicked off the baseball team for basically being a snot-nosed kid, and his uncle forced him to tell the rest of his Klansmen, the gang, to that Tommy purposefully beamed him to kill him when Chuck knows that's not true. And they go to the Lee's house. They put a cross on him on the front porch, well, the front yard. They eventually, grab Tommy. They to with the intention to tar and feather him. Superman eventually locates Tommy Lee and saves him from the rapids of the river because he escapes the clutches of the Klan by diving out of the moving vehicle, the truck, ending up breaking his arm. And the Klansmen believe that he will, be dead if, in a matter of time anyway. So they just kind of leave him be. Superman ends up finding him, saves him, and then he he puts in an article in the Daily Planet to discover who the boy was that called for Clark Kent to give him the tip that Tommy Lee was in trouble. So he puts the article in basically saying, if you know any information, please, do the honorable thing and let us know. In the meanwhile, Jimmy Olsen and Perry White end up getting captured by the Klan because their attacks on the Daily Planet. I mean, their attacks on the Klan through the Daily Planet, and basically they state that the Klan is a bunch of bigots. And Superman's trying to figure out where Jimmy Olsen and Perry White are through trying to find out who the boy was that tipped him off. So that's basically what's going on. He eventually finds out it was Chuck Riggs because he knows there's a connection from the baseball team that he figured out that there's some connection with Tommy Lee and the baseball team. So eventually he goes through all the baseball candidates, who are still on the team. Chuck Riggs is not on the team anymore, and he listens to all the voices. He uses the copy boy. I forget his name. He has this weird, crazy voice. Beanie, yes, Beanie, and he's interviewing all the kids. They're like, "Oh, what do you think about the next game?" And basically, Clark Kent's behind like a door using a coin to knock on, to tap on the window, basically saying if it's not if it's not the kid that he's looking for, he'll tap a coin on the door and he'll move on to the next candidate. So he keeps progressing, and they keep doing the interviews, and if they realize that none of these boys are what they're looking for. And Jimmy Olsen, Perry White are still captured. And they eventually find out that Chuck Riggs was the one who got kicked off the team. So they talk to him and they interview him. And then Superman Clark Kent instantly realizes that it's the boy that he was looking for. And he talks him in. If Superman can protect you, would you basically disclose the information? And he says, "Oh boy, can you really get Superman?" And then Superman, he's like, "Oh, sure I can, because I'm fucking Superman, but I'm not going to tell you." And then he flies in, Superman grabs him, and then the rest is to be disclosed on the future episode. But these episodes are really great. I got to say, especially that speech that Perry White has against the Klan, I thought it was very powerful. Basically saying that that America was built on foreigners and people coming to the country in general. Anyway, so like people, all cultures and religions are this placed in this melding pot that we call the U.S. of A. And it's built on these merits and and this ideology anyway. And they even I was even thinking in the back of my head, about the Native Americans that were here prior to, any white person or any person coming to the States. And yeah, I'm glad they did disclose that and they did state that, because basically to them, we're all not originally American. So yes, I don't know. How do you guys feel about the radio show? I guess we'll, I don't know. We'll go in order.
I did finish the radio show. I didn't get a chance to finish the comic. I had a whole bunch of stuff go on within the
Right.
last 2 weeks. But I will say the radio show is definitely a recommend, like, to a high point now. Like
Yeah.
there's a point, and I think like episode 13 or 14 where Chuck Riggs' uncle meets with one of like the national leaders of the Fiery Claws clan, and he's like, "What are you
Oh,
doing
right.
here? Why are you here?"
Mm.
And he's
Yeah.
telling them, call in the national action squad. We gotta kill these dudes. And he's like, for what? And he's like, hold on, wait a minute. Do you really believe this bullcrap we're telling people? And he said it to him. This is a business. This is the most profitable business in the world, because hate leads to war leads to industrialization and more, machinery being produced, weapons, and so on and so forth. And that's how, advancements in research and so on can happen. And he's like, I don't care anything about you, because he took out, I bet it was a 22, because he put it out like bam. And he was like, all right, you're either gonna die here or you're gonna leave. And it just,
God.
that part really stuck to me, because he himself, like Josh just said, he said there's that ideology is completely wrong, because the only people who are 100% Americans are the Indians. So it's like, I'm a foreigner from by ancestry. You are too. That whole one race, one religion, that's just a bunch of bullshit we're telling idiots.
Yes, it is.
And it that just really stuck to me in a real powerful way, because it was like, the guy himself saying, I'm not a bigot, but I'm selling idiots bigotry. That's like when my parents were kids in department stores, they were selling kids pet rocks, and everyone bought pet rocks for their kids and didn't know any better.
People catch on to the dumbest fads. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think that's episode 14 you're talking about, because where I ended with 13 is that Perry White and Jimmy Olsen is like trying to escape.
Yeah.
And they're trying to run away. And I'm like, wait, where did that happen in 13?
I think, I thought it was pretty powerful that no one is even no one is safe, because even when they're talking about, like, the mother was talking to Chuck Riggs, basically guilting him into revealing, the secret without really really guilting, without really
I
knowing
actually
that
enjoyed that part.
Yeah, that part was really, really powerful, because it's like, well, what if they choose to not like the color of your eyes or the color of your hair, or anything? It's just like, no one's safe from these bigots. They could just change on a whim. It could be they're against these people at one day, and then the next day it's someone else. When is it going to be done? When is hatred going to be done? And the answer is probably never, with especially people like that. So, wait, go ahead, Matt. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's fine. No, with that scene, it's kind of like it was. I actually like that scene. That scene, or part of the radio show that I was listening to, because like the mom actually gets pretty descriptive with it and gets it on to like actually showing more emotion and everything, including, it's funny that she's now like kind of making fun of everything I think it's her actual brother, or no, brother-in-law. Like believes in, believes in, without her knowing, because I don't believe the mother knows what the brother-in-law is into at all, because I feel like she'd be disgusted of what's happening. But like the son, was it Chuck is just like, I don't know how it, like, it felt like, it feels like he wants to tell his mom what the uncle is doing at all, to, like, with this whole thing, but he just doesn't want to go further with it. But like, it was pretty, like, it was like, it's really weird. It's like it's really weird, like, how this is like going with that relationship with the mother and the uncle stuff, because she doesn't know anything, but they live in the same house.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand. She's probably a working mother, and he's, doing his own thing. I could see, like, him like hiding in plain
He's
sight.
trying
A
to
lot of
tar
people
and
do
feather people.
that.
It is like it feels weird. Like he's hiding some traits because I feel like it'd be easily to slip out in public if they're hanging out together or some other stuff. Like if they're just talking about things.
Yeah, what I like about this whole series, especially, Jerry listened the whole thing through. It like every cliffhanger, you're like, oh, I gotta listen to the next one. I gotta hear what happens.
Yeah, that's
And it's
like
very
when I hit the
easy to
point
keep
at 8, I was like, I gotta know what happens at this point. I was invested. I'm like, is he really gonna get away with this?
and it
And
deals with like real problems, and that's what's really powerful about it. It's not like Superman fighting a monster or whatever. I mean, it's a real issue that people have to deal with, and it's really neat how they showed it in the limelight, and it was very factually accurate to what they did and what they were actually about, and it disclosed a lot of information about this group.
it also
the other
was
thing,
really hard to listen to certain parts, especially when
yeah,
they were like calling them like racial slurs and the derogatory names to
they are
even like
really
other
harsh.
white people.
Yeah.
Like it caught me off guard. And I'm listening to this with my windows down at work, just driving. And then they said it. I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
Oh,
I gotta roll this up. I don't want people getting the
I
wrong
think
idea.
you pulled a bad move there. Oh man.
Yeah, they don't
But
pull back
it's
punches with
I was listening at work, but I had my headphone and like I'm sitting there and some of my coworkers like came in. I'm like listening to it and reading the comic at the same time,
How the
and I'm
fuck
just
does
like,
anyone do that? How is that possible?
it's a
How the
thing.
fuck
It's just a thing
is
I
that
do.
possible? How do you focus on anything at that point? Yeah, someone came in. I was drinking a beer. I was reading a book, and I was listening to the radio show. So like, yeah,
So
that was
you have to learn how to
great.
multitask
On
where
a
I work,
full
Josh.
conversation. No, Matt, that's not fucking humanly
No. They
possible.
when they came in. Well, when they came in, I paused the radio show. But they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm reading this and listening to this radio show." And like, what is this? And I'm like, "Oh, it's Superman Smashes the Klan," and the radio show that talks about how like Superman demolishes the Klan and they're a town and it sorts it away. And they just gave me this face like, what the fuck is this shit? I'm like, excuse me? Like, Superman fights the Klan? I'm like, yeah, it's for my podcast. It's a thing. It's actually a good read. And just give me a face like, what the fuck is this guy doing on his time here?
The other thing I wanted to say, I do like how Superman is like he's almost like a father figure. He's like actually talking straight up to these kids, like to the next generation, and he has like a relationship with all these kids, like even the other baseball players, like they know who Clark Kent is. Like he actually talks to these people, and like I think that's like the whole point of the whole radio show. Well, one of the points was basically the next generation of what's gonna is gonna what brings out the best and worst in humanity, and you got to teach them right from the beginning. Like Chuck Riggs, for having a stupid big uncle, he could have like followed his footsteps, but with people like Clark Kent and people who cared about his well-being around him, and he had a very good social structure around him, they helped him to be a better person and realize the error of his ways, and he knew what was right at the end, and from the start he knew what was right. He just didn't know how to go about it because he was scared for his own life as well. So I like that. I like how it was very personal with the communication with Clark Kent and and the kids.
I couldn't agree more with what Josh said. This is especially what happened. I don't know if you guys might have heard about it, but it was like last year or 2 years ago, right when the pandemic was kind of getting in the swing of it. there was a guy down
Mhm.
in Atlanta going around to like nail salons and stuff, just killing, Asian Americans and Asian immigrants in cold blood.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I remember this. I remember this.
I didn't hear
And
about
so
this
it's like,
specifically. But
yeah, it was really just messed up. I think he was just doing it just
I
because he
think
didn't have like any
I
negative connotation about Asians. He
no.
was,
yeah,
I
I
think
heard.
yeah, he was just doing it. Whatever. I think he hit up like how many? I think 5
was it
places.
5? I thought it was maybe 3.
So
I
what
thought
was he
yeah, it's like
doing?
it was
What did he do exactly?
Like he just would get a gun and just start opening fire on
yeah,
them.
just laying waste to
My
people.
God. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really dark. I know there was a lot of bigotry against Asian Americans and just Asians in general after the whole pandemic. Basically, people were just blaming
Hmm.
them,
Hmm.
even though that doesn't make any sense, even though they're not from where it started. And yeah,
It was so
it's really
It
stupid.
was
awful.
it
Yeah,
was really awful.
this is when I
Hmm.
wish Superman existed in our reality. This is what I mean, Superman exists. He's a very powerful entity, like within, like you could capture the essence of the character with reading and
Hmm.
then like kind of looking up to that character and this high standards. And I think that was the whole point of this whole radio show and the comic book itself. That's it shows that the most powerful people aren't gonna bring down the weak and the oppressed. They're gonna bring them up and help them out.
Hmm.
It's if
Hmm.
you have the ability to help people, you ought to do it. Or that's like one of the quotes in the comic book. Um, to go on, just to discuss the comic book a little bit. Um, and this it's a little different. They have more.
It
They have
is.
more of a Chuck Riggs and Tommy Lee have more of a relationship in this, and it's not like they're butting heads the whole time. Chuck Riggs is he. There's more of a like a plan from the the Klan that they're gonna like basically just get rid of everyone. Like they're attacking the Daily Planet. They're trying to blow up their youth center.
Hmm.
They're just trying to
Hmm.
do it all at once. It's like the stakes are definitely raised, and I like how Detective Henderson
Yes.
is depicted as African American, and that definitely higher the stakes as on top of that as well. Um, there's a lot of detail. I do like the character Roberta. She's a very
She's
Oh
I
growing
yeah.
on
like
me.
her a lot. Like she's like mirroring her and Clark Kent. They're like mirroring each other on like how they kind of both feel like outsiders. Clark is getting these visions from his Kryptonian parents, basically, saying like, "Why are you hiding half your abilities?" And she feels like an outsider within
Hmm.
Chinatown where she originally came from, and with her new friends. Like she can't really fit in, and Clark is kind of mirroring that as well. He's like he can't fit in with his alien past, and he can't fit in completely with his human uh, ability or his humanity basically.
Hmm. Humanity.
I like the part where they show up and he's in a coffee shop with Lois Lane, and like there's like a girl drinking coffee like right in front of the
Oh
window, and
God.
like Lois Lane thinks he's just not paying attention to her and he's checking out some other girl, and like she just storms off and leaves, and he's like, "What? Why would I want to look at her when I have the most beautiful whatever in front of me?" He says that to himself, but it's just like that's typical Clark Lois relationship, and I just love that kind of fun
Hmm.
beats.
But it happens twice too.
That
Yeah,
was
that
pretty
It
happens
funny.
happened
again.
second time
Yeah,
when he was like trying to repay her with another coffee and actually listen to her.
right,
But then
right,
he stops listening to her and focuses on the phone call that's coming in
right. Which is from Tommy
from
Lee.
Chuck. No,
Yeah,
no, Tommy Lee, yes.
yeah, at the
Tommy
youth
Lee
center.
calls in. He's like, oh, it was just, it doesn't matter. The kid didn't know what he was talking. sound like he was making it up, and he's like, "Oh no."
Yeah. I think these are a great marriage piece to have. I feel like it's nice to listen to a radio show and read a comic book at the kind of simultaneously, kind of.
I think they go hand in hand together.
Yeah,
They do.
definitely
The
agree.
comic gives it more. The comic
Kinda
gives it more
fleshes it
depth
out.
with additional
Yeah.
character, and branching it. And that's one thing I do like. I was kind of in the beginning, I was with the first chapter, it's kind of screwed me up with the whole Roberta additional thing. And I'm just okay, I'm hoping in the radio show they add this character, but they never
yeah, she's not.
do.
They mentioned her. They
So,
mentioned that he has a little sister one time in one of the beginning episodes,
and that was it.
Yeah,
and that was it. That's it. Yeah.
Well, I really enjoy having her because
me too.
she just does all these great things and that she doesn't believe that she can do and keeps overcoming everything that she's afraid of or sticking up or whatever she has to do to get something done. The part when we get to the when she encounters the Klan at the youth center. I wasn't expecting her to do anything with that.
Yeah, just she actually
the way she acts.
Yeah, and talks to them, and she's stating that she's scared when she met Superman, when she was trying to make friends, and basically revealing too much information at once, saying she threw up in front of Superman, and the girl's weirded out, oh, okay, I'm gonna go now. And then she kind of just stuck alone, just standing outside, and she realized she kind of doesn't fit in with either social group. So it's kind of interesting with that, and her brother is completely the opposite. He's the popular one. He fits right in. Everyone knows his name, and people are struggling to know her. And Jimmy Olsen's the only one who's really had a connection with her. And it's it's a cute little, teenage, crush. I think.
Yeah.
But it's not, they don't dive way too into it where it's too, they just kind of touch on it and then they move on, which is the perfect way to do it. It's but it feels, you can see the potential in the future, which is all you need,
But it feels like since the beginning of this comic, since when Jimmy started realizing the sister more and seeing how she is, I feel like they made it Jimmy's goal is to branch her out or make sure there's someone there that's not Superman that actually can relate to her and actually be a friend to her than all these other people making her feel awkward.
And she has this dope jacket made out of Superman.
That part made me that made me happy when they gave him, he gave the cape to her. He was oh yeah, my mom made me a bunch of these. A cape doesn't make it through every disaster, so here you go. Here's the cape because you earned it, because she was a hero and all that stuff. So, but the one part when I was what I was reading it, and I'm wait, why is the mom she's sleeping with the cape on her blanket, over top of her blanket, and the mom comes in and takes it. I just see her cutting. Yeah. I was no, no. Then she made it, but she made it into a jacket, and I was okay, that's better because she can actually wear it around,
and it can keep her warm.
So I was at least she made it into a jacket that's actually a thing she can keep wearing and using to show off that.
Because she missed her jacket
the symbol.
She did miss her jacket in the beginning of the comic.
Yep.
She got barf on it though.
Yeah, she did.
A queasy stomach.
Yes, you did.
So, yeah, I think these go hand in hand. I think they're a great marriage piece, and I like listening to radio show first, kind of knowing the history and the origin from the storyline, and then going to the comic book. And then once I listen to a radio show and I read the comic book, I don't know about you guys, but I read the voices from the radio show. I read it as Bud Collyer.
I try to.
I get it.
I try to.
Pat down, yeah.
It's hard to do for Clark Kent.
You're fucking listening to it, and you're having a conversation. You're drinking coffee, and you're I don't know, feeding a fish. I don't know what you're doing. You're doing 12 things at once. So how can you do any of it right?
No, it's because you got only a handful of characters. You can't give them all fucking the voices. So it's like then you had to make up new voices.
Oh yeah,
for
yeah,
them.
yeah. I meant like especially Superman, like Superman's voice, like that. I
No, I'm using that fucking radio voice
Yeah,
Superman all the time.
That was
That's
the best
like-
part.
What?
yeah.
Just to
That-
get out of the
he's
side
like-
thing.
He's like my favorite. Wait, go ahead.
No, I'm actually no. The radio voice is my favorite too right now. But just to get this stupid thing out of my head. Okay, how many of you guys like? Did you guys all get annoyed by that one kid that kept asking? So what does
About the
Superman
cotton
smell like?
candy?
I heard he smells like cotton candy,
Yeah.
and he just keeps bringing up,
I
and everyone's
wanted
like,
to hurt
"Can you
that
shut the
kid
fuck up?"
on a
Like-
respectful level.
I like how they added that because he kept like saying it, and they're like, "Don't be weird," you know. But like that's like totally what a kid would say, you know. That's why I like.
Yeah, but like
like.
everyone just like get the point. Didn't no.
No.
We're done with this.
Yeah.
But I love I'm liking the development of Chuck right now though.
And which
with
one?
the whole
Both?
he's what
In the comic book,
in
or-
the comic more like right now with the comic because like how because we have so much more story added on, so he's growing more than the radio shows,
Mhm.
Chuck.
Mhm.
So when he gives his uncle gives his uncle the heads up, and the uncle fucking escapes with his bomb, but like he figures out more plans by like he's knowing that like all of these kids are there at the
Unity
center
House.
and everything, and
Yeah.
he ends up having the balls enough to run over there to get everybody out of the center, but not trying to give too many hints. But Roberta can read through him, but he's trying his best so no one gets injured. That's in the friends group that they have there. So he's trying to then he gets everyone to go to that one movie that he didn't really want to see and everyone else wanted to see.
Yeah. The movie
So,
looked pretty
but the other
cool.
point, like-
I wish that was
I'm gonna have to disagree with Matt. Chuck's
Okay.
development in the radio show was more a favorite for me,
Okay.
just because you see like the child mentality in him, that it's like he wants to do better and he wants to do more, but all these other influences are trying to stray him for the path or like force him to
Okay.
make adult choices that have real life consequences. Like
Mhm.
how he went to the telephone booth and was like, he was, Mister, I gotta call somebody. Do you have a phone? Do you have a phone?
Oh,
And he
yeah.
told him, like, kid, we're about to close.
Yeah.
And then he's in the payphone. He's trying to call Clark Kent. He's like, operator, call Clark Kent. And the dude outside, he's like, hey, stop trying to call your girlfriend, you little piss ant. I need to call somebody. And he's like, please, mister, I just need 5 more minutes. Please.
Yeah.
And it's just like you see the like visual and emotional panic in his voice, especially when his uncle is like, it would be a real shame if you ratted me out. I might have to tar and feather you and take you out behind the bush like a lassie.
Yeah, I now remember that part.
Yeah, I was kind of interested on like
Ooh.
how they're gonna differentiate the two with the the secret, like Roberta and Tommy Lee like know from like basically at the midpoint like that his uncle is the Klansman, and the other in the radio show there no one knows except for him, and he has that internalization like Jerry was saying, like, oh man, I have the secret but I can't get it out, and that kid mentality like you're saying.
And I think it's more so when he's having breakfast with his mother that he's like, okay, you know what? I'm going to do it. And you see, like, he was in the mode to go do it until his uncle walked in and he told him, if you fuck with me, I'm going to hurt you. And you're not going to like it when I hurt you.
He basically says he'll kill him.
Yeah.
That's one thing they did not do in the comic book.
Yeah, I mean,
And so I don't dislike
because
Chuck's
after
development in the comic, but for me, it's more natural in the radio show, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I get that.
No, I get it.
I get that too. I do. It's not like I favor one over the other, but it's nice that I like how there's differences in between the two because
Yes.
if I'm just reading the radio show, might as well just listen to it. At that point.
What? Yeah.
So it's nice that there's a lot more fleshed out in the book, and they kind of do different avenues and stuff, and they give Lois Lane a lot more to do. The stuff with the duality of Clark Kent and his heritage, I really enjoy a lot because it mirrors like what's
Yes.
going on with the other characters. I think that is phenomenal. I'm really glad they added that. And that's the stuff I really like that how they fleshed out, especially like the Lois Lane stuff and especially the Superman stuff. That's like number one. Like how they because before it's like Superman's just Superman and he's helping out the kids. He's like more of a he's like a kind of like a someone to look up to. He's a father figure basically. And in this, he has that duality too, and he's struggling himself. So it's nice to see that he's struggling as well, and he's mirroring what's going on with the
Mhm.
characters internally. So I think that's all I have to say about the radio show and the comic book for now. We'll have to finish it off for next episode.
In case you couldn't tell,
Yep.
we're basically telling you to read and listen to it together.
Yes, I recommend both wholeheartedly. The radio show, I'll give it like 1,000,000 out of 10. No, I give it, the comic book. The comic book, I don't know how to really rate it. I mean, the only thing I want to add is the artistry is like so adorable. I just like want to pinch everyone's cheeks. Like it's just so cute. I don't know how to say it. It's just like
No,
I don't know.
I do agree with Josh. The radio show will always hold a special place, no matter at what point in history you listen to it. For me, it's
This
kind
is
of the
random.
same thing with the comic because the comic does tell the same story in a somewhat modernized fashion,
yeah,
just with how certain characters are changed around or certain actions change. And I think it complements the radio show to a perfect T. I wouldn't change a singular thing about it.
Hmm.
no, I agree, 100% agree.
No, I'm with you with like the same way. I feel like these two things should be like submitted into like history in a way. Like if you want to know like more about like what's happening or like dabble with this, whatever, just listen to the radio show and definitely read this comic book because it does hit basically everything that was going on back then. And
And
like I said, prior episode, I had kind of doubts with the comic book because like I didn't know how modern they're going to go with it, but
no,
they just kept it at a decent amount that actually fits right with it.
yeah, no, I like how they kept it in the same time period with the comic book. They didn't like
Mm-hmm.
make it modern. That would have like kind of made it. It would have
That
Yeah,
would have
more
made it
I'll
cheesy.
Yeah, it would have made it cheesy, and I like how they just set it in the same time period, and it's the same atmosphere, it has the same flavor for sure. It's like a
yes.
different topping, different kind of cherry.
But I want to find out how the artist is what his idea was for the Kryptonian style art.
Yeah,
Like make it
that's
more like
interesting.
the
I hope.
green alien antenna
I
guys.
wonder if they
I need to
explain
know
that.
what that's about.
I don't remember if they explain that or not because he definitely asks like, "You don't look anything like me," and then they just kind of push past that and they just keep talking to him. They don't
Oh.
even like
Oh,
they don't even
Okay.
acknowledge him saying that. So he does ask. I don't know if
Hmm.
that's ever answered. I don't really remember. It's been a while since I read the whole thing through, but I stopped at the second chapter. The only thing I want to add with
Maybe he's not the right age to get the antennas.
No, maybe
No.
it's like the Who's in Whoville. They grow their noses. That would suck. The only thing I want to add is like when you're listening to a radio show, like you see everything. Like it's like you're watching it. It's like you're it's in the mind's eye. You see everything. You can make out.
They're really
Like,
descriptive.
it's super
Very.
descriptive, and the sound effects are great, and even the cheesy organ, like with the dun, 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 it's like it's so perfect of the time, and I almost wish that still existed today because it's like I don't know, it just feels like it's so right. I don't know how to describe it.
The thing is, with modern radio, it just feels so cheesy and annoying
I don't think they do
nowadays that you can't even
They
have
don't
it.
even do it anymore.
What?
They don't try.
They just stick to like stupid game shows or like
Yeah,
what's going on in the
it's
topic
too
of the celebrities,
yeah,
or
it's
let's
too
go prank somebody and fuck up their whole day.
yeah,
like
yeah, it sucks.
nothing crazy.
It's
They don't,
too like
or they try to
TNT.
do more like, or they try doing like important topics and they just superly twist it to that. There's no real point of me trying to listen to them anymore.
I gotta say, I'm really glad you guys really enjoy this, and you. It seems like you guys appreciate it as much as I do, and I didn't expect that to happen. So
it was something really outside of the norm that I would even like read as far as comics are concerned, because it's for me like historical and racially motivated stuff like this is hard for me to just sit down and watch, read, listen to whatever, just because it puts me in a mood like there's still people like this, and it's always gonna be around me. But in this, it's more like you see how people are trying to rise up and fight against it, and even when someone has an issue with it, they don't know the proper channels to get the help or offer the help that's needed. So it's really I really appreciate it just because of how everyone is so, these people are wrong. That's not how we think anymore. That's not how, our town is, our city, our neighborhood even.
Yeah.
Like it's even in that flashback. Like it's even in the flashback with the whole in the comic they have when
with Clark Kent.
Was it Clark is back and he's at church and everyone thinks he's possessed and like the officers like, oh yeah, don't mind them. They don't understand. I know you, Clark. This is not how this place works.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta look out for everyone. Yeah, I feel like that this should be shown to like kids, like in elementary schools. I think it would be good. Good teaching.
I feel like it'd be better than what they're trying to teach them.
Yeah.
I think this is a better way of teaching kids than the way they're trying to teach them now. Ways they're doing.
So. I think the ways they try to teach kids almost like is the reverse of what the outcome they want.
Yeah, it just feels like it's more forcing than this is more opening. That it's a fictional. It's a real life scenario with a fictional touch.
Yeah, and it's it's one of the more
it makes
powerful
it more easy for the kid.
Yeah, it's amazing. All right, we talked enough about this. Let's move on. I could talk about this forever. We got to stop.
We have to talk about Matt's favorite episode of Family Guy now, and I think I'll take the reins on this one.
I thought Matt was going to do it. Okay.
I thought so too, but end up not.
I've been making Matt go a lot the last couple of times, so I'll go first.
Okay.
So we watched the episode, season 2, episode 20 of Family Guy, Wasted Talent. And it was just a massive spoof of so many things that I didn't realize it at first.
Oh my God.
because it starts off that the mysterious Pawtucket Pat is opening up his brewery to the public, which is,
Yes, he is.
a spoof of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And so everybody around town is just getting drunk as hell, suffering from alcohol poisoning and dying, trying to find these scrolls. And so the first person to find one is Joe Swanson, and then another mysterious person who we'll come back to. And then I can't think of the guy who's the news anchor. He lies and says he found
The news
one.
anchor, yeah.
And then he's like, I didn't really found one. I lied. And then he puts a carnivorous earwig in his ear for just the hell of it.
Yep.
And then Peter cracks open a cold one and he's like, well, this is the last one. And he drinks and he's like, God, I bet that silver scroll makes it taste shitty. And then he just yaks all over the ground and he's like, he finds the ticket covered in his vomit and everybody's just telling him, run, go home, Peter, you found it. And it's just like, I'm watching the intro to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory all over again.
Yes, you are. We're just missing, you're literally missing the whole candy shop song.
And
literally,
and then they get in front of the brewery and Trish Takanawa is interviewing professional ninja Jerry Nelson. And he's explaining how he found his silver scroll. And then Pawtucket Pat comes out. He has a whole scheme scene, like he's getting shot by someone who's an upset family member because someone drank themselves to death. And so it's the whole still thing of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. People go in, people get kicked out with the song and dance number. And then after Peter and Brian get kicked out, he's heavily drunk and he tells Lois to pay attention to him. And so he's like, move over, kid. Let me see what you're doing here. And he starts playing the piano like he's Mozart. And Lois is like, what is this? And so she lets the kid go. And then Peter just keeps playing and playing through the night until it's like, he's shit. He can't play anymore. And so then Brian gives him a Bloody Mary and he's like, here, this will fix your hangover. And so then she realizes Peter can play the piano flawlessly while drunk. So now she has the moral dilemma. Do I intoxicate and slowly kill my husband to win a trophy against my rival, or do I accept bitter defeat? She kills all of Peter's brain cells but one.
Yeah.
And that gets us into the spoof. It's not even a spoof. It's more of a reference to the Twilight Zone episode. I can't think of the name of it, but it's the last man on Earth, and he locks himself in the bank vault with all the books, and he's like, finally.
Yeah.
And then his glasses break, and he's like, no, I had time.
That's what that
I finally had all the time in the world. And it
what's
just
the actor's name?
I really wish I could think of that episode. That was my favorite one.
That's with Burgess Meredith, the guy who played the Penguin, and Mickey from Rocky, the original Twilight Zone one, not the Family Guy thing.
But in the end, Peter does win the award for Lois, and she's like, Peter, I'm so sorry. I'm this horrible person. And he's like, Lois, I love you, and I would do it again if you wanted me to.
Because that's
I
Peter's
didn't realize
character.
that was a spoof of that until you just mentioned it. Yeah, it's been a while since I watched that.
So, Matt, how do you feel about this episode? I'm going to give everyone a little bit of context. I was up at like 2 a.m. I'm like, I have to find a short to go with my movie. So I'm just on Hulu, Netflix, Prime Video. I'm like, what has ninjas? What has ninjas? And then there it was. And it fit perfectly because when me and Matt play Grand Theft Auto, I creep up on him like a ninja. He calls me the Tennessee Ninja, and I kill him.
We both. He is the Tennessee Ninja.
Oh my
He has an
God.
outfit and everything. It depends when Jerry's in the mood to put on the outfit. But yeah, for a good while, he'd be like, "All right, I'm trying to find your server. I'm trying to find your server." No, he's swapping out his outfit. He's trying to get a car. He's trying to cruise on over to you, and then hit you with a fucking police a hammer. It was a fucking hammer. You like to kill people with. And he just comes up and swipes you out. Then it'd be a war between me and him trying to get whoever gets the most kills. But now we've got more of our friends into it, so it's an ongoing thing with all of us. So I'd be in the server, and I know our friend Billy would come by and just try to blow me up with a DeLorean, and then we get like out of nowhere, our friend Steve will come by and smack you with the car, and you never know where these guys are coming from.
You guys are crazy.
But yeah, that's what happens when we play GTA. But this goes on for almost 30 to an hour until we get actually going on missions properly. Or we have an actual real like plan and mission. We cut it shorter, but we don't have anything planned. It's endless war. But to the show, I love the they brought Cheech into it from Cheech and Chong. He's the guy doing the drive-by.
Yes.
They actually mention his name. Oh, this is Cheech. Blah blah. Thank him for the show. Blah blah. And then. But before that, the thing that got me off, like screwed me up, was when they're interviewing the ninja, and the wife walks up and just pop, and he knocks her right in the face. He's like, oh shoot, remember my senses. He's like,
oh,
no.
That's why you picked this
happened?
episode, because of that one joke. I was trying to figure out what the connection was.
Yeah, it was
Why
really
am I
just because
watching-
of the one joke.
It's literally
Why
that
am I
stupid
watching this?
joke.
I was like, what does this have to do with anything? With
Yeah.
Dragon? This doesn't connect at all. I had no
I
idea.
felt so
Oh my God,
bad,
this is-
Josh, because I was like, he probably
Oh my
missed it because
God.
it's this 1 8-second clip.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I was like, why are we watching this with like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or something that would
No.
make sense? Or
You know-
or the Twilight Zone episode you just mentioned. Like, I was like, why am I
Yeah.
watching this? What is the point of this?
I just
I
had
gotta
deja
apologize.
vu.
That was
I
my
literally
fault,
just-
Josh.
I just had deja vu.
Why?
I just had deja vu right now.
For what? I mean, we did this podcast a few times, so
No, I had a dream that we were doing this, and you did the same thing.
Oh my God.
That's great.
You're
That's
scary,
great.
man.
Oh
Scary.
man,
Stop it, lady.
that's the fragment I
Scary.
remember the most.
Oh my,
Oh god.
oh my God.
But the thing is that it doesn't help me that I watched that cringe video of Willy Wonka before I watched this.
I don't know.
So
Oh,
I went from
yeah.
like a cringy. Jerry knows
Do
what
I
I'm
know what
want
you're
to
talking
know?
talking
I don't
about.
think I want to.
No, you don't.
It's a you don't want to watch it. No, you don't.
Okay.
Nuh-uh. No. Nah. Bye. It's just really bad. It's cringy as fuck.
Is it with
I'm just giving you a
Johnny
hint.
Depp's
Remember-
Willy Wonka or Gene Wilder?
No. It's Gene Wilder's.
Oh, the
Um,
good one.
the thing is, remember that video, the Bugs Bunny video Jerry sent us?
Yeah. I seen
That guy made this.
All right, I don't need
yeah,
to see that. Okay.
So yeah, that cringed me the fuck out. Then I finally watched this. I'm like, I'm going from cringe to alcoholic Willy Wonka. I'm just like, what the fuck? I can't. I'm not winning tonight with
surprised-
Willy Wonka.
I thought you were gonna like pick an anime or something. That's what I was like expecting with like Enter the Dragon.
I was too.
I was like, oh,
I was.
Family Guy.
I do have some
Ah.
anime picks I want to use, but I want to save it for another movie that I have in
I
mind.
see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I That was trying to. That's what was baffling me that whole time I was watching. I was like, why am I watching this? And I was like, it was kind of.
Yeah, I completely forgot to text you and say like, "Hey, I really picked this. I only picked this to fuck with Matt. Pay no attention to it."
So that's why you picked it, because you showed Matt the cringy Willy Wonka short, and then
No. Our friend, I didn't watch he didn't show me the cringy Willy Wonka short. Our friend Jimmy discovered more cringy videos this guy made, and I actually fell into it because this is went into the next episode, the next video. I mean, no, Jerry chose it because the ninja.
That was really it.
That
Professional
was really
ninja.
it.
Josh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you.
it wasn't like it was terrible. I was just like, oh, this is early Family Guy. Okay, interesting. And it was neat to see like the old animation. But the whole time I was watching, I just wish I was watching Willy Wonka. I was like, I just want to watch the movie now. I just want to watch Willy Wonka. I don't want. I'd rather watch that.
I was like, yeah, when I was watching this, I'm like, this is such a ripoff of Willy Wonka. I was waiting for them to actually start doing the song in the bar of like some kind of random like switch up with the Candyman song.
Oh yeah, did they do that?
They didn't.
Yeah.
No, they didn't.
No,
they did. It was a news anchor killing himself. Then Peter walks out, like how Jay said, drinks his beer and gags on his silver map, and he throws up and all that junk.
I don't even know.
Because alcohol is bad.
What am I supposed to say about this? What is there to say? It's a Family Guy episode. It's an early one. It's fine, I guess, if you like Family Guy. That's my review.
You have to have attachment.
The moral of
Like
this
that ninja.
episode, early Family Guy made a lot of references to movies, shows from back in the day, and it was nice to revisit them, along with professional ninja Jerry Nelson.
They still do that. They still do references and all this shit. I was like,
it's not as good as it was.
Yeah, it was a lot better
like
in
with the
days.
Hulk walking away theme.
Yeah, I had to look that up. I was like, what theme? It's from the 70s Hulk.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of I thought it was like from the Ang Lee Hulk. I was like, when did this happen in that one? But I guess it's from the 70s Hulk. And this just made me want to watch the other shit that they're referencing. It didn't even make me. I like wasn't really enjoy. I was like, I'd rather watch the real shit instead of this Family Guy episode. That's what it made me want to do. I was like, oh, I'd rather watch this Hulk episode. I'd rather watch Willy Wonka. I'd rather watch the Twilight Zone. That's basically my thoughts throughout the whole episode. That's you know. I'd rather watch the stuff that they're referencing. That was it. I don't know. It's fine.
Well, you could say it connected because Enter the Dragon came out in 73?
73 or 4.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. Hold on. Let me check this. Yeah, 73.
Yeah, I was going to check myself, but whatever. Was it? Okay.
Which was also around the same time as the Superman radio show.
Wait, 73? Wait, what?
Yeah, because the radio show was 76.
The one we're listening to?
Yeah.
No, the radio show came out in the 40s.
No, 40s.
Crispy, you lied to me. I'm deflecting this on you.
I did not lie to you. You were there the whole time when we
onto
discussed
you.
all this.
Oh, what are you talking about? It's like 30 years before that.
Why did you lie to me, Josh?
I didn't say that. I was like, what are you talking about? What? I thought you were talking about Superman the movie. I was like, okay, yeah, that came out 5 years after. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. We'll say that.
We don't even...
Superman the movie did come out 5 years after this movie. I'm glad you said that, Jerry. I'm glad you mentioned that.
We don't even have to rate it. We can just go straight to Enter the Dragon.
Yeah, I don't want to rate this. I mean, if you really want me to, I can, but I'll give it a very average rating. Yes. Okay.
It's Family Guy. That's all right.
Yes.
Yeah. That's all you can
Right,
say.
yeah,
So,
that's why
Josh-
I'm like, why the fuck did we watch this? Oh no. Okay. So this
Josh, please take it away with Enter the Dragon.
Oh man, okay. Okay. I don't know if I can do this justice, but so Enter the Dragon 1973 starring Bruce Lee, distributed by Warner Brothers Pictures, which I was interested about. I was like, "Oh, okay."
Same here.
So it basically starts out at this at this temple. I guess they're in China. I don't where are they? Are they in China? I guess they're in China. Bruce
We'll
Lee
just
is
say
with this
China.
yeah, Bruce Lee was with his sensei. He's basically, showing his skills to another one of his sensei students, basically showing that he's the top dog of, his class. His sensei says, "Oh, one of these people I taught in the past went rogue, and he has this island with these sex slaves that are injected with opium. You got to go there and fight him." And it's basically it's James Bond with martial arts. That's like what I got out of this movie, which is fucking awesome.
Yes.
It was awesome. And so they sent, and he talks to this British intelligence guy, and he's like, "Yes, this guy's very bad, and he's all these girls or women are washing up on shore, dying of overdose." And he finds out from I don't know, I guess his friend that him and his sister went on the island, and she ended up killing herself. What's the name?
Seppuku.
Yes, I won't
Yep.
remember that, but yes, thank you, Jerry. She does that, and she kills herself because that's an honorable thing to do. Bruce Lee ends up going to the island, and then it introduces all these characters such as Williams. What's his name? Rupert.
Roper.
Yeah, Roper.
Roper.
Roper. Yes, Roper, and all the Hans, who's the main antagonist of the film, and all his basically his cronies. So it shows a little backstory for each character. Then they have this fighting tournament, and basically Hans is using this facade of the fighting tournament to showcase who's the best fighters and to incorporate them into his Legion of Doom, basically, like with this opium sex slaves. So basically, he's just trying to like weed out who's the best fighters, and he wants them a part of his army. Then Bruce Lee, who's I guess he's just known as Lee, he tries to infiltrate information about the quarters that are on the island, and he sneaks around the island, and he finds out that there's imprisonments down in the basement, and where they're doing all these operations, and basically these experiments on these women, and he fucks her shit up, and that's the movie.
Oh God.
This movie is awesome. I gotta say, this movie is really cool. This is my first Bruce Lee movie, and thank you for introducing me to this. I know I got excited for a previous episode. You said I don't even know what it was. I thought you said Enter the Dragon. No, it was the Way of the House.
It was Way of the House Husband. And
I don't know why
the way I worded it, it was the previous film, Way of the Dragon.
Oh,
which I completely forgot was the prequel movie to this. And so I was like, oh wait, that's another Bruce Lee film. I gotta change what I said.
Yeah, I was like, oh wait, and then I thought we were watching that, and I got excited. But I'm glad you eventually. And Way of the House Husband's great. You should watch that too. But I'm glad you recommended this because it was awesome.
Season 2, October 7th. Thank you, Jerry. Yeah, this is like I said too. It's my first movie of watching of Bruce Lee's.
So
yeah, that was actually pretty awesome.
I'm gonna give you guys, just a little more context about the movie.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. I'm
obviously,
interested in the history of it.
Bruce Lee is one of the pioneers for bringing martial arts films to America, just like Jackie Chan and Jet Li, obviously.
Yeah.
But, Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee, they were, at the time, they were the biggest names in martial arts films.
Mhm.
But, as obviously, Bruce Lee, he's passed on, he died. And this movie is really just his last piece of legacy to the world. So the budget for the movie was only 850,000,
Oh,
and it grossed 350 million, earning 400 times
shit.
its budget, making it not only the most
Damn.
profitable film of all time, but also the martial arts film. And the second, or being, I think, Way of the Dragon or Fist of the Drunken Master with Jackie Chan. So this was what helped put, Asian film cinematics and filmography as a huge hit over here in America. And I
Is this
actually
his
have a couple
last
notes I
movie?
pulled up.
Is this his last movie?
Yes, this was his last movie
Oh,
because
Is it?
he died a month after the movie's release.
oh my God. How did he die again? Is it some like weird brain injury or
Damn.
something? It wasn't it something weird?
It was something with like his heart, I
I
think it
thought he got
was.
shot. Oh.
Yeah,
But it
I know there's.
let me see here. Bruce Lee. Let's go to his death. This is a whole
That's
lot of
crazy.
reading. I'll make a post on this for our Instagram later. I don't feel like reading all of
Yeah,
that.
I know that's fine. I know it's like something really like out of nowhere. It seemed like at least very
Yeah, I
bizarre.
think it was like
Bizarre.
he was meditating and his heart just gave out.
Especially like for someone in this kind of condition, you would think they would like live forever because there's no body fat on him at all.
Mhm.
Like especially when he's like moving around, you
Yes.
see every striation, every like ligament basically, and you're like, holy shit. How does someone look like that?
Yep.
And I know I've seen an interview where he's like basically says you have to flow like water, you have to like basically like be if you're in a cup, you got to be the shape of the cup. If you're outside the cup, like you, I don't know, but like that's how he moved. He moved like he was fucking water. It was like he
Oh.
would take shape of what was around
And
him.
then
It's crazy.
there were also two other very big name actors. The one being Hans the villain. He was a very predominant Chinese actor who played villains and other antagonists in Chinese filmography, of course. And he received, I think, quite a few of their awards and nominations for his acting roles. And the second being Roper, who had, I think he says he has like 200 like shows and movies in totality under his belt. Where
How
is
does he
he?
have that much? Well, like when he's
Yeah,
What?
John
died so young, that's
Saxon.
crazy. So
Yeah, he
I'm looking.
during a span of 60 years, he worked on more than 200 projects.
That's crazy. So
So
I'm
it
looking.
was.
Damn.
Oh wait, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so it was like, for as short as the movie was, and as honestly as low budget as it, well, I guess high at that time, but like for how little, it cost to make the film, they essentially made a whole nother market of films to explode from this one thing.
So I'm reading the I guess the article, the Wikipedia article about how he died, and I guess there's no visible external injury. However, an autopsy reports Lee's brain had swollen considerably. A brain edema, possibly caused by a reaction to a prescription painkiller. So it was some brain.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it was something with his brain.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I read too. They had like a short
Yeah.
thing on Google that I read.
That's
Just read.
yeah. It's very upsetting. Especially like he's
I
like
wonder what he was.
he's at his peak, like his prime of like his movie career,
I
his
wonder if he.
body, his martial
Now I'm
arts.
wondering what the.
And as
With
we
the
all know,
painkiller.
Bruce Lee has inspired countless, video game characters, comic book characters, shows, movies. You could honestly, the list could go on forever. Like the people he's inspired and the how his legacy lives on. And I think because I did want to go watch Enter the Dragon, I just didn't know a right time to throw it in the mix. And I felt like now is a good time. It's kind of the end of summer, kind of the start of fall. So this would be around the time action movies would try to come out.
True.
Yeah. And I gotta say, for a man who only had one testicle about him, I wouldn't be horribly afraid to try to rob or do any ill will to Bruce Lee.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he only had one testicle.
You say one testicle?
Yeah, he only had one.
How? How do you know?
How
do you know?
Answer that question, please.
I was reading some kind of article about, just different facts about him, and I think he suffered some kind of injury or another, and he lost a testicle. Maybe that'd be a pretty fucked up way to lose a ball.
I don't really want to Google Bruce Lee's testicles, so I'll just take your word for it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave that one alone. I'll take your word. Someone karate chop the shit out of it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh god. Okay.
But this, I have watched this movie in the past when I was younger, so it was nice coming back to it with a fresh set of eyes. So I could really appreciate it.
Okay.
Because I know for me, I'm a bigger Jackie Chan fan. I've watched more of his martial arts movies, his cartoon, and other films and shows he's been in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when I think of, Asian martial arts and kung fu, my mind first goes to Jackie Chan because that's who I've seen more of. But when I think of who really helped start it and make it as big as it was, you have to immediately go back to Bruce Lee. Because I think The Way of the Dragon was his second most profitable, obviously after this one. And I think it was still kind of the same thing like 007 for Asians, but with kung fu and a lot of badassery.
Oh god. There's one part in that movie that made me cringe the most. Is when he picks up the fucking snake. He picks up the cobra. He's just handling the cobra, and I'm just like, I'm not okay with this whole thing that's happening right now.
So much.
I was looking at that too because that was a real cobra. That was a real king cobra.
Yeah, it was a legit cobra.
I was like,
he had no fear.
I don't think at that time they're.
I was like, for the close-ups, I'm like, oh, that's real. And I was like, oh, for the wide shot, it wasn't moving as much. So I was like, oh,
it's real.
That's rubber. And then he picked it up. I'm like, oh, wait, no, that's real. It's a real snake. And then when he smacks it on the back of the head to piss it off, like to throw at the guards, it was like, holy shit.
Dude, I was not okay with that at all.
That's what I was trying to figure out. Like, did they like venomize that snake?
I don't know if they're doing that.
I don't know if they were doing that at the time.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, like, if they weren't, that's really crazy.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if that snake was more afraid of him than he was of it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I don't know. It was just, yeah, it did. Yeah, that was like the most like out of everything that made me just cringe because of my fear of snakes. Because that's just like what I think, and then like the one more part of the movie that I wasn't okay with is what they do the freaking when they do the Williams, and I'm just like I was actually enjoying Williams' character really well, and then just fucking takes a whole 180 because he doesn't like what they're doing at the mixed martial arts competition. No, they're doing to the guards.
Mm-hmm.
They're killing the guards off, and wouldn't anybody get a cringe or like
Have
a
an
weird
issue
vibe
out of
from what's
that?
happening in front of them? Yeah, wouldn't you think? Like
Yeah.
I think he gave the best response to that, and the guy Hans is just like it's like nah, that's a little sus right there. You give me that look, like what the fuck?
I think for me, it was when Hans was talking to what's his name? Roper?
Talking to Roper.
Rupert Pupkin.
Roper.
And he had the guillotine and he put the cat on it. And I was like, are they really about to decapitate this cat on like live film? And I'm just sitting there like, oh my God, this is so intense. Obviously the cat lived, but I was like, Jesus Christ, they took this to such a place.
I thought when Roper took the cat off, I thought he was gonna lay down on the guillotine, and then go down. But Hans just pulls the lever and they go down the elevator, and Hans is like, "Oh, it's faked out again." So, and then do like the whole thing that Roper and Williams have a connection from like one of the wars that they were a part of at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So like they're both like veterans from when the wars back when that was basically it should have been like right after, like right before that movie even happened, probably. But like they actually have a good connection. They actually know each other good and well to have a good understanding of what they are at in this movie. But like it's just I kind of feel like this Williams got like a shit end of the stick because of Bruce Lee. Because he like the one rule was don't go outside after a certain time,
and he broke
and the guards, he broke it. He went outside, but at the same time, Bruce Lee's just running around, just knocking out all the fucking guards, just going crazy.
Yeah, because I know also during filmmaking, it was also a big problem with blaxploitation.
Yeah,
and so
really?
it was like watching. I'm like, oh yeah, this was a big issue back in the day, where like they would bring in a notable African American actor and then just give them the shit stick.
Yeah, I was a little upset about that. Like Williams, who was played by Jim Kelly, I wanted his character to at least live till the ending, and I
wanted him to fight Bruce Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I that's what I wanted.
I thought it was gonna be a weird thing. He gets convinced. He gets convinced, or something happens.
Because I saw when he sees Bruce Lee like sneaking around the complex of the castle. I thought that was gonna I don't know. I thought it was gonna be like a revelation later on. I guess it kind of was because they suspected him of being the one sneaking around. But like I thought that was gonna be, I don't know. It was gonna play in a part later on in the film. But it was just he died. I like this character a lot too, and I wish he like survived till the end. I liked him better than Roper, to be honest.
Yeah, I did too.
He had
more of like a better vibe and and he was a better fighter.
Yeah, Roper sucked in the beginning. He got his ass kicked, and then he just like looks at him like,
Then he turned up a notch. He like turns up a notch at the end, and I'm like, what the fuck was that in the beginning? Roper was doing bets, so like, was he trying to throw everything off?
Yeah, he was trying to throw stuff off to get a big payout.
Yeah,
but Williams wasn't doing the bidding. He just said fuck it. He just sat and just watched him just be an idiot. Just get his ass kicked.
I really wish Williams lasted longer. So I'm reading this article. I don't know how factual this is, but they're saying that Bruce Lee, they gland the snake on set, and that he got bitten from it. But I don't know how accurate this is. That he got like a
I
tartar
wouldn't
glass
doubt it.
injury, and then they got rid of the venom gland from the snake, but like it still could have venom at that point. So I don't know. I don't know. That's
I
something we'll
wouldn't
get
doubt
to.
if it got venomized.
Yeah, but yeah, it's still getting
I
bit from
think
King
that
Cobra.
was an option.
No,
So,
I think it's still possible.
Yeah.
well, I mean, like just like with the way the movie flows, it feels like this got a cobra.
No, it's definitely a
Just
Cobra. But
casually chilling.
Yeah, just
maybe
like, all
that's
right,
how he got
we're
his
just gonna put you in
swollen
the
head,
baggie.
his swollen brain injury, because the Cobra bit him and it was devenomized, but it had enough to affect his brain. I don't know.
Who knows?
That's some
True, yeah.
conspiracy theory that you could read into. There's another conspiracy theory that I just want to mention. Honorable mention. I'm not saying I believe this, but there's a mention that Bruce Lee was killed purposefully, and that his son, what's his son name? Who played the Crow? His son was shot on set on purpose to basically get rid of the lineage of the Lees throughout Hollywood. But you know, take that as you will. I know that's a conspiracy theory that people believe. Brandon Lee, yes, Brandon Lee.
Yes, Brandon Lee.
He was shot on set of The Crow during a scene where it was either a misfire of a blank or something. There was too much gunpowder or something happened where the bullet actually penetrated him. So yeah, you could chew on that, I guess, if you'd like.
Yeah, for some reason, I kind of, when we were talking about Bruce Lee's death, I kind of mixed his sons up with Bruce Lee for some reason, because that one's just like so bizarre and crazy. Two to have that
they're
happen
both
to you on set.
so
They were young.
very bizarre.
Bizarre deaths.
Hollywood was afraid of the power that they would generate, so they had to stop them.
That's what people do believe that, and it's not like I'm saying that that's wrong, because I have no idea. But
I mean, Bruce Lee generated a movie that earned 400 times its budget.
True. But
wait. I just
go
wanted to say
to
this.
Hans' Arsenal.
I guess Stan Lee wanted to make a Shang-Chi film starring Brandon Lee, which is from an article I just found. I don't know if
that would have been amazing.
Really?
I'm finding that would have been amazing if he lived. Yeah, I wish we got that movie instead. But yeah, go ahead, Matt. Sorry. We discussed that at the beginning.
So. So with Han is interesting with his weapons. So like Han has a fake hand. If we all realize he has a fake hand,
it's like a bear claw,
and he takes rope. Yeah, it's just. And he takes Roper through the whole arsenal and like his ancient history, weaponry area, but and that showcase he has is literally his actual
hand
weapons. He likes to actually attaches. Yeah, there's a skeleton hand of his own. He's like, oh, that's just a trinket.
That's a souvenir.
A special trinket. Yeah, souvenir thing. Yeah.
I'm glad they showed that and they didn't like have a flashback to him. Like, oh, like you kind of find out.
True.
Like they did that at times where like they had those flashbacks. I'm like, that wasn't really necessary. I know this guy killed your sister, basically. I didn't need that flashback. Like, I know. You don't have to show it again. Like, just little stuff like that. So I'm glad they didn't show that. But go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, but like, seeing like how he has all his setups and all like these weapons is pretty neat. But like, it just feels like it's like such his hand option for this feels like it's I don't know like is that the best choice for a mixed martial artist to have a detachable fucking hand gadgets?
Yeah, he's Inspector Gadget.
So like in my head like it's like I don't know how I'm waiting for when he does a move it flings off. Or like I wonder how many times behind the scenes it falls out of the mechanism that they give him to walk around and stay the set with.
I'm sure it happened almost every scene.
Yeah.
Because it just looks like it's just like a stuff and he just holds something.
Did he
and he just uses
actually
it.
have no hand? The actor?
No, because you can see kind of like the thing he's holding for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the extension.
Yeah. And then I got my little nitpick moment of like when Bruce Lee's getting cut up, and I'm just looking when he's using the 4-blade knife weapon he had at the end of the battle,
the Wolverine
and I'm just watching the cuts happen. Yeah, and like you see 4 on his face, 4 on his chest, and the stomach one's like, that's a 3 marker.
They ran out of ink.
How did one of these blades miss?
Yeah, maybe. Well, he hit him on an angle, so like he was like sucking in his gut, and then like he only got 3.
Got it. Those abs.
Or maybe Bruce Lee used 300% of his abs to deflect the 4th blade.
Yeah.
Don't you bring that manga into this right now. Still don't fucking believe that manga.
I believe it. It's true.
I do also have one small nitpick. I understand, obviously this is a Bruce Lee film, so it's going to star more of Bruce Lee. But I do wish that it would have showed like some of like how Hans has his daughters. He's like, these are my elite guard. Why the fuck didn't Bruce Lee fight them?
Yeah, I wanted him to fight what's the guy's name? Pogo or Polo or the big guy? The big brute.
The muscle guy?
Yeah, the muscle guy.
I know you. God,
like
what is his name?
It's like Bolo. It's Bolo.
Bolo.
Pogo.
Talking about the guy with
the big guy. The guy looks
like the big Asian dude that looked like he's on steroids and killed like 4 of the guards.
Yeah, that's one of the ones talked about before. The big guy. Yeah, that's what the Roper fight. No, not Roper.
Yeah,
Roper
but like he defeats him so easily. I'm like, oh, so like if he could defeat him, then I'm like Bruce Lee.
That's what pisses me off the most with that character.
I was like, oh, then it wouldn't even been a match for Bruce Lee. But I wish that happened. I wanted that big brute fight against Bruce Lee.
That would have been great.
Yeah. I was like kind of expecting that.
Yes.
Especially how they set him up in the beginning and how he's like cracking necks and shit. Like killing like the guards who failed Hans, basically. Like I was expecting it. He was doing the same shit. Bruce Lee was basically doing the same like neck cracks and stuff, later on when he was like sneaking through the basement or whatever. I don't know, the dungeon. I don't know what it's called.
The sex
the
dungeon.
Experimental. Yeah, the sex dungeon laboratory experimental room. Opium room. Yeah, I was expecting, especially with that, I was expecting them to have a confrontation because they're kind of doing the same moves, the same like kills and shit. I was like, oh,
they even had some of the same facial expressions when they did it because it's like,
yeah, they had really good. They had really good facial expressions. I gotta say, Bolo, I think, had the best facial expressions. Like
he had definitely had the crazy eyes to match the face.
Yeah. I was like, that's great.
What about that part when they're in the they're feasting at the right before the tournament the tournament and everything. I'm stuck in right now. But yeah, right when they're doing it, Hans shows up and he's like brings out his like bodyguard. There's a group of girls that follow him. And they're all throwing the knives at the apples. and the one that Bruce Lee ends up taking in that for the night, but he doesn't do anything with her, and he blows and he just shoots the knife at the freaking apple.
I thought that was really weird because I'm like, what kind of lung power do you have?
Yeah, I didn't know.
I need to know.
That's how he
Maybe
satisfies
she's
the
also
ladies.
a long lost Kryptonian.
That's what she was waiting for.
There we go.
That's how he satisfies the girls. By blowing them.
Oh God.
I'm not proud of that.
Hope not.
I gotta say, I did like the like almost chess match that he had, like the mental chess match he had with the guy from New Zealand when he was on the boat, and he's like, "Hey, show me your moves. I want
Oh.
and I'm like, he has to combat him without fighting. I was like, there has to be a way he like outsmarts him, and I'm glad they do it the way they did, where he's like, oh, we don't have enough room here. We got to go on that island, and he goes on that little rig boat or whatever, and he just like tosses the line to the people he was ridiculing, and they like sink his little
They
dinghy.
sunk his battleship.
Yeah, I did enjoy that. I liked how he showed used his wits rather than his, physical attributes with that moment. I was like, oh, that was clever. I'm glad they did that. The
That
only
was
thing I
very
wish,
nice. I enjoyed that.
He's just like,
yeah, I was like, that was neat. I was kind of surprised. I was like, they have to do something like that. I was like thinking, like, how is he going to outsmart him without fighting him? And then he did that. I was like, okay, cool. The only thing I wish about this movie, I wish the camera work, like from what you're saying, like the budget was pretty small. I wish there was more interesting camera work and camera shots. It seemed like there was all like still wide shots, and that was kind of like the whole movie. Some of the transitions were kind of neat with like the water effects or whatever they did. I don't like the transition was cool. Yeah, the mirror fight was really
Yeah,
cool.
the mirror fight
That was
was
probably
the
the most
best camera work.
that
was
was
dope.
definitely the most technical, because then to hide the camera with all those mirrors, just in general, must have been such a pain in the ass. So that was definitely the most technical stuff. I just wish the camera moved a little bit more. That's what I just wish it did. But I gotta admit with that it's very impressive with that mirror fight.
I don't know, with maybe the rig they probably had back then, it wasn't the easiest to move
Yeah, I
properly with the
guess.
motions of the mixed martial arts at the time. So they said the safest way is probably just to keep it as a wide
I mean,
shot.
it's not like they didn't have dollies then.
Yeah.
I know, but how often do you have the best? If you don't have the best equipment with the budget you have, and you're probably not gonna have
They
the
should have
best
taped the
sturdiest stuff, it may
camera
just be
to
this-
Bruce Lee's ankle, so when he's doing kicks, it's like moving with his kick.
They didn't have a GoPro.
Yeah,
They could have made one.
yeah.
Just imagine.
I don't know.
And when he
God.
roundhouse kicks a dude, you see the whole whirlwind. Wah!
Yes.
I did hear like in some movies that Bruce Lee had to slow down his movement because it was too quick for the camera to capture, so he had to actually like slow down for some of his moves.
What is he, a blimp? It's a bloop.
Yeah.
It would just be
I
done.
definitely got that
Yeah.
feeling when he fought the dude with the scar on his face. Because if you blink, you missed his punch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
There's a lot of, that would make that one fight with him fighting the guy that killed his sister. That kind of annoyed me because they set him up with the American government set that guy up as his top bodyguard,
what so
and yeah, and he just wasn't at all good. He was just shitty. But he was like,
I bet Roper could have.
but he was like fighting. Probably, but he was like fighting that image of the sister killing herself, So like it was weird at the same time, but he's supposed to be this like bad guy.
Yeah,
But he keeps having that vision of the sister killing herself
know,
in front of him. It was like that scarred him, and I'm like, wait, so why we set you up as an asshole if you're gonna actually be a decent person, and then you die?
so okay.
Mhm.
It was like pointless to bring him in a way,
Wait, how
They
is he a
just kind of
decent person?
scapegoat
but
him.
like, yes, it was just weird.
How is he a decent person?
No, it was like you know like and with they didn't really describe what he has done in the past. They just described what he does and like they just showed what he does on that. They don't even know like what they're really like at the time right now where we just get the point that he's just chasing after her from like whatever is happening. We don't even know what his main goal is, what she's done.
I don't think
He's just chasing her, and then she just stabs herself because she didn't want to go back because we didn't know what was happening down in the basement yet. But like at the same time, he's like he has regret of having her kill herself and that whole fight prior because
Oh, I see what
that was the whole
I see what you
flashbacks we
mean.
just kept seeing. It's just weird because we set this character up to be like a total like supposedly the guy in the movie that's talking to Bruce Lee sets him up to be this super like asshole that's Han's like right hand man of bodyguards, and he's just actually a pushover with his own feelings because something actually got to him that the way they described him this shouldn't be a thing for him. He should be able to be okay with death.
I gotta say with that
He's kind of like surrounded by it.
part where like he has that flashback of her killing herself. How does he have that flashback? He wasn't there. So-
He was there.
No, he wasn't. Bruce Lee.
Oh, you mean Bruce
that was
Lee?
Bruce Lee's.
Not Bruce. It wasn't Bruce
No, it was
Lee.
Bruce Lee's flashback. It was because it was like it was focusing. The camera was focusing on him. It was like his eyes and his intensity. So when it
No, it was focused on him because he looks. I think they're because it's making the guy imagine her.
I think
Isn't that his sister,
yeah,
right?
it's Bruce Lee's sister, but I
So he's like seeing. So at that point, they look supposedly the same because their family. They look the same. The guy's getting visions of their sister.
I thought it was the opposite. I thought it was Bruce Lee remembering that guy.
No.
I don't know.
It wasn't Bruce
don't
Lee.
believe
It was
you.
him. That's why
I don't
he's staggering around in the beginning more. He wasn't focusing, and then Bruce Lee just took advantage.
And then that's when he broke the bottles.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, and he broke the balls and
up because he already got punched in the fucking face.
After the first punch, I would have just laid down.
I think you're wrong there, but I don't think that guy has any remorse at all. I think that guy was just an asshole the whole time. I think it was just Bruce Lee reflecting on this guy is the guy who killed my sister, and that's why they showed the flashback. I don't think it was the guy who was thinking about that. I think it was Bruce Lee.
okay.
But even so, if it is Bruce Lee, it still doesn't make sense because he wasn't there. But I guess it's like from what he was remembering from the story being told. I don't think it was. It was definitely not the guy. There's no way.
I have a feeling
I
it's the
don't
guy.
think
So
to agree to disagree,
Okay.
but I don't think so. Yeah. I don't know what else to say about this movie. It's pretty fucking cool. It's basically James Bond with martial arts. That's like the vibe I got from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how they set up all the characters. I gotta say, the guy who plays Roper, he looks like he could be fucking Zac Efron's dad. Like I was like,
It was scary
he looks
how
like
much
Zac-
he looked like
he
Zac
looks
Efron.
like Zac Efron. Like you're Zac Efron's dad. There's no relation, but I guess the actor's name is John Saxon, and he died like recently. He died in July 25th,
last year.
2020, yeah. So
In
last year.
Murfreesboro, Tennessee. That's like 45
Damn,
minutes for me.
okay.
That's crazy to me.
Why didn't you meet him?
I wish I could have. I would have got him to sign like a Enter the Dragon box set or something.
Or like a lunchbox.
Yeah. Maybe like a CSI lunchbox. He was in CSI too.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was in
Was
the
he?
2005 CSI
Okay.
for like I think an episode.
Apparently, he was in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh.
So that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, he was.
He's like the cop. No.
No,
Was he
I
the
think he was the
boyfriend?
cop.
Was he
Yeah.
a cop?
Because it's
Johnny Depp was the boy.
Oh,
Yes.
he's too
when
old.
did
He's too old.
Nightmare
I'm
on
not-
Elm Street come out? The 90s?
At that time, yeah, he was
84.
80s?
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, way before the 90s. That was like that height of the slasher craze, I think.
Yeah. So Matt Crispy, final thoughts and review.
For this being my first Bruce Lee movie, this is actually pretty dope. I've never been like a crazy kung fu movie guy. Like I like it if it's like in some action like movies like that. They're kind of different, but they have these guys that actually know how to use it, and they just fight a little bit. Not like it just revolves around it. I've never been into like that 100%. So like this is actually pretty neat, and it actually got me to like actually like kind of like keep going and watching it, and it's actually kept me entertained pretty well. And I would actually say I give this at least like about like a 7.5 at least, just because it was actually pretty good. It was the story was just like I don't know how to describe the story. The story could it's just typical like James Bond stuff. So like it wasn't like super in depth with a lot of the craziness. But for being like with the budget it had and the way they just went with the whole roles and like the balls of Bruce Lee, I mean ball of Bruce Lee.
He's only got one ball.
You can see like it actually was a great effort of how they put together the movie, and it was enjoyable. I can probably watch it again like once or like a couple here and there times without someone forcing me to watch it.
Nice. Josh? I forget how the fuck
It's me again.
I forgot how pointing works on here. It's reversed.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I said everything about like my review part. I'm just gonna rate it. I would give this an 8 out of 10. Maybe on future viewings I would give it a 9. But as it stands right now, I give it an 8. This is like Matt was saying. This is like my first introduction to Bruce Lee and like basically kung fu movies in general. So it was definitely a nice awakening, and I definitely want to watch more. I actually want to look into more of Bruce Lee's life. I want to know his diet. I want to know what he ate. I was like, there was no body fat on that body at all. Like when he moved, I was like, holy shit, there's
Yeah, I
nothing.
think
No.
he's the master he learned from. It was like one of the most difficult martial art disciplines.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. Like the IP man or Ip man, isn't that like one of
Yeah,
the guys?
but that's with Jet
Mhm.
Li.
So, yeah. So that's where I stand.
That's another movie franchise.
For me, I've seen stuff with Bruce Lee, here and there, but sitting down and watching a film again, it was nice. It reminded me of, just sitting down watching like Terminator with your dad. This is a movie a dad would show their kid is like, hey, you want to see something that's got some cool ass action, not super ridiculous, and you're gonna love it to pieces. Like this would be it. Yeah, some
And has
boobies.
tits.
I think it takes itself seriously. Yeah.
That
Yeah,
actually
I
shocked
saw
me.
like a slight nip, and I'm like, oh well, hold on, Chief. What is that?
That's kind of screwed me up. I was like, I'm not expecting any of that at all. I thought it was gonna be more cleaner, but
Yeah.
like they did. It's like okay,
Definitely it's I would definitely say use Bruce Lee or Jackie Chan if you've never seen like an all martial arts style movie or never been really big into kung fu movies. Because, like I said, those two were the pioneers for martial arts. I mean, at one point in time, the Yakuza or the Triad wanted Jackie Chan dead, and he carried a submachine with him everywhere he filmed. Yeah, that's a real part of Jackie Chan's life.
I didn't.
I'm gonna rate this as a 9
Okay.
just because I've watched a little bit more of the kung fu movies, not even of just with Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, but from other cultures as well. And it's no matter how many times you say like, "Oh, I'm gonna watch a kung fu film," the martial art that you see will never be the same twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, rest in
No, that
peace to
makes
Bruce
sense.
Lee. We miss you.
Yeah, and Brandon Lee.
And Brandon Lee.
I guess he has a daughter who's still alive, so the lineage
Oh, he does?
still there. Yeah, Shannon Lee.
That's good. That's good for
It
him.
looks like she has a son.
Like that's good.
Her son looks pretty stacked. Like he looks like he's pretty jacked, not stacked. But the one thing I wanted to mention before I'm getting tired. The one thing I wanted to mention before we ended the show was the shoes that Williams was wearing was fucking cool. Like he was, everyone's wearing just like regular like slip-on shoes. He's wearing fucking Adidas. I'm like, that's fucking rad. He's cool. I was
He
like,
was the coolest kid in the party.
He's the coolest. Yeah, I was like, and then when he died, I was like, what the fuck? Come on. I was cheering on.
He
his
should have been
Adidas.
wearing Pumas.
I know. They would have had claws on the end of them. Yeah.
But I believe we've said all we can say.
Jesus.
You guys ready to end it?
Yeah, so I'm done. Wait, what?
Let's.
Oh yeah.
Let's drop off the next before we end it.
Matt's pick.
Let me
Go
do
for
my
it.
picks.
Choices
All
for
right.
next
So my pick
next episode
for the next podcast. We are doing the continuation of Superman Smashes the Klan, like we say in the beginning. My pick is gonna be Fairy Tale Transform. It's episode 222.
Veggie Tales.
It's called Fairy Tale. It's an anime. It's a well-known anime.
Dragon Tales.
It's gonna be great. Shut up! Stop fucking this up. The name. It's Fairy Tale.
Oh my.
It's great. Jerry, it's okay. It's mostly filler.
I don't believe you.
It's not gonna screw you up. It ties into because this is gonna my episode's gonna be the beginning of October. It ties into like Halloween. It's gonna be costumes, and it kind of relates with a little bit of our podcast. Like kind of like mostly evolves around Batman and Superman. It has a little bit of that in it.
In Dragon.
So that's gonna be my Fairy Tale, asshole.
Batman and Superman are in this thing.
You have to watch and see, Josh.
Okay.
You gotta watch and see, and that's gonna be my short. And for the movie, I don't know how many people I've been debating with so many movies what I was gonna pick.
Well, you have to pick now.
Well, I'm gonna probably just stick towards. I'm gonna dive like this. I'm gonna say I decided. Have you guys ever watched Pumpkinhead?
Yes, I love Pumpkinhead.
We're gonna watch Pumpkinhead.
I don't think I have. I just seen the poster.
Wait, which Pumpkinhead? The first one? The very first one?
The first one. The first one, yes.
Okay.
Yes. The Origins. We're gonna go Origins. Why would I go? I'm never gonna pick any of the. If I was gonna say any other Pumpkinhead movie, it was gonna be the first or the second.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, is he gonna pick the first one or the second one?
I'm not gonna go any more down the road. Down the road, it gets more sillier.
I thought you were gonna pick the 12th.
Like how everything else does. Don't lie about that because there is a 12.
There is.
No, I'm just joking. I thought there. I think it only went up to like. I think it only went up to six
Something
movies.
like that.
But one of the latest ones, they bring back the guy from the first movie. And it's kind of weird. But yeah, we're gonna watch the first Pumpkinhead.
Okay, setting the Halloween film standard.
Okay.
Yeah, if you guys don't want to be spoiled and Dragon Tales, make sure to watch that before next episode.
This guy.
He's
Fairy
sleepy.
Tale. What's that? What's the episode? I am sleepy. Can you tell?
It's called It's Fairy Tale Transform. It's episode 222.
Okay, if you don't want to be spoiled for Transformers: The Fairy Tale,
I hate you so much for trying to fuck this up.
Rewatch that for next episode.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
ready. Send this
3,
off.
2, 1. This has been Jerry from Batyard's Finest, guiding you all with Green Lantern's light.
And I'm Superman's pal, Matt.
I'm Josh. Sending you off up and away until next Batyard's Finest episode. Who says the Super Friends part?
Becoming
super friends one
You do,
episode
because
at
you
a
went.
time.
One episode at a time. Yeah. So Matt, you have a full 2 weeks to come up with an intro and an outro, and none of us are going to rescue you for next episode. So you have enough time to figure it out.
Okay.
And you can write it down. That would help. Okay. So I can't wait to watch Transformer Tales.
Oh my god.
I'll send you guys all the information where to find it. Jerry knows where to find Fairy Tales.
Okay.
You definitely need to find out where to watch it.
Yeah.
Josh, so
and probably next.
I own Pumpkinhead, so I'll find out where I can find it. Where I can find it.
Yeah. And probably next week will probably be the end of Superman Smashes the Klan. I think there's only one more chapter, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's just one more chapter.
There should be.
So yeah, so we'll be done with it.
Should be then
by next episode. So yeah, watch that and okay, goodbye.